Okay, folks, the worst might have come to pass now on Football Manager 2025. Sega had their financials last night and they've just put out an announcement. I've not read the full announcement yet, but I think I get the vibe. So I guess let's go have a look and see what's going on with Football Manager 2025. So at 2:30 a.m., they put out this post. Yeah, let's have a look. I'm going to have to make it a bit larger for you guys to read. There we go. So, Sports Interactive regret to inform that following extensive internal discussion and careful consideration with Sega, we've made the difficult decision to cancel FM25 and shift our focus to the next release. So it's done. There's going to be no Football Manager 2025. For large numbers of you who pre-ordered FM25, we thank you enormously for your trust and support. We're sorry to have laid you down. We know that it was come as a huge disappointment. It's true. I mean, I think one of the things I've said to a lot of you recently is, you know, I'm disappointed about this. I've never been angry, but yeah, it is disappointing. I was looking forward to 25. I was looking forward to the new engine. I was hoping we had it 2 or 3 years ago, so maybe it's just a case of I'm well down the line here. But let's have a look. Yeah, especially given the release date has already moved twice. You've been eagerly anticipating the first gameplay reveal. We can only apologise for the time it's taken to communicate this decision. Due to stakeholder compliance, including legal and financial regulations, today was the earliest date that we could issue this statement. Yeah, because it can affect things like share price and stuff like that, and you can't really do that right before a financial report. We've always prided ourselves on delivering the best value for money games, bring countless hours enjoyment. I mean, it's true, like everyone gets a lot of time in we're going to get a lot more time in Football Manager 24 now, but yeah, and that feel for every moment and every penny you spend. With the launch of FM25, we set out to create the biggest technical and visual advancement in the series for a generation. Well, I hope so. I mean, the good news I get, or no, it's not really good news. There's not really any good news out of this. But I guess one positive is, like, I suppose it does indicate that they are setting out for something bigger with this game. It's not just a reskin of, another reskin of what we already have. Laying the building blocks for a new era. Due to a variety of challenges that we've been open about to date and many more unforeseen, we currently haven't achieved what we set out to do in enough areas of the game, despite the phenomenal efforts of our team. Each decision to delay the release was made at the aim of getting the game closer to the desired level, but as we approach the critical milestones at the turn of the year, it becomes mistakenly clear that we've not achieved the standard required, even with the adjusted timeline. Whilst many areas of the game hit our targets, the overarching player experience and interfaces were not where we need it to be. I mean, here's the thing, right? Civ 7 came out a day or two ago, and people hate it. They don't hate it, but like player base is not happy about it. It's a real mess of a game. They could have released, I guess, whatever they had, and people would have been pissed off. And I mean, I understand people are pissed off already that we didn't hear anything, or that the game's not out, but here it is. I've got where I got to. As the extensive evaluation has demonstrated in consumer playtesting, we have clear validation for the new direction of the game, and are getting close. So there was some information about them doing FMFC playtesting back in January, and I guess at least they can make some changes off that, because I doubt they would. If there was some big problems with it, they should be able to adjust based on that now. However, we're too far away from the standards you deserve. We could have pressed on, released FM25 in its current state and fixed things down the line, but that's not the right thing to do. Which is true, right? So many games released bug. City Skylines was absolute mess, destroyed their fan base. Civilization, it can be interesting to see where that's at when that comes out. Cyberpunk, No Man's Sky, these games can get fixed down the line, but it erodes so much customer trust. Maybe they took a little hit to customer trust delaying it. Maybe they took a little bit of hit to customer trust cancelling it, or a hit to customer trust by not putting out a statement last week. But there we go. We're also unwilling to go beyond a March release. It's been much too late in the football season to expect us to then buy another game later in the year. Yep, I fully agree. They released Football Manager Vita in April, and it was a ridiculous decision, and they never updated it, or they updated it once. They didn't fix a lot of bugs in it. And the season was pretty much over by the time it came out. It's kind of stupid. So I'm glad they've done that. Through the cancellation, every effort is now focused on ensuring our next release achieves our goal and hits the quality level we expect. We'll update you on how we're progressing with that as soon as we're able to do so. I mean, it would be kind of good. Like, maybe they could just chuck out a little nugget of the new game. Just something. There must be something that's pretty close. They'd be like, hey, this is where we're at. Like, I do think that, like they say about this transparency, the financial thing's gone now. Give us some transparency. Like, I'm going to call for it now. This is the time now to give the transparency. Be like, hey, here's what we're working on. Hey, this is sort of what it looks like at the minute. What do you think? Hey, like this is, I mean, get a bit of feedback. Hey, this is the match engine. Hey, this is the new UI. Hey, this is like what we're working towards with women's football or whatever. I think it's got to be at a close enough point now. If originally they were close to that March release, that they can chuck some of that stuff out. So I think we could. I don't know. Let's see. I mean, let's see what the things. I mean, it's true. A lot of the player base is asleep, so a lot of you are going to wake up to this. So my apologies. I mean, I'm going to try and get this out tonight. It means I was like going to be sat at my PC tomorrow waiting for this to come out, or at least we don't have to check out the Sega financials and try and read the Japanese and watch the press release in Japanese or whatever to try and get information about it. But I mean, yeah, it would have happened in Japanese time. Like some people saying it couldn't wait. Why it wouldn't have waited? Like it's I mean, it's gone out. All right. So I don't know. Could they have handled it better? I don't know. There must like this bit here with the stakeholder compliance. Like I guess. Right, there's some financial legal restrictions there. I don't know how true that is. Feel free to comment down below if you know more on that. If you know more on that, I don't want to hear the yes. I want to hear from lawyers and financial experts only. I don't want to hear from Dave who works in Greg's. No offense to Greg's workers. You make a good sausage roll. So I think we're gonna. Well, I mean, what do we do now? That's we're working on the FM show. We've got, I mean, I guess, FM 26 is going to be the next one. Unless they could keep calling it 25, I suppose. I don't know. FM 25, the Football Manager that never was. There's been some interesting stuff. Some of the community's been doing some interesting stuff. Obviously, Sort It Out SI have their update one. There is a couple of match engines that are flying around, although they look too clean to me. Like not in a weird way. Like it doesn't look like football. It looks that when they're. I don't know. That's a subject for another bit, or probably on stream. So join me on stream to do that. I think I've got to find another Football Manager save now, haven't I? It's going to be 8 months away. I can't just sit. I was sort of holding off starting something new for 8 months, but I think there might be time for another save in FM24. As to what that could be, I don't know. We'll have to see. Originally, I was planning on doing a couple of short challenges, but we might be at the stage now where we start something new. I was looking at the World Database, which would be what do you call it? A World Super League, which might be kind of fun. I don't know how that plays out, but that could be interesting. We could do Portsmouth, my own team, or Palermo again, stuff. But the second division teams, they're not long-term saves. It's let me know what you're doing, what your plans are down below. Are you done with 24 now at the stage where we're at, well over 15 months into the cycle of FM24? Are you going to be looking at FM20, FM, I don't know, I'm going to be looking at some of the older games, I'm sure. Are you still playing an older game perhaps? Where do we go from here? It's a real dilemma. Let me know what you think of the delay. It's going to upset people. I'm upset by it. I'm not going to lie about it. It's disappointing. These things happen, right? This is my upset video. When I'm looking down and thinking about things, that's, I'm upset when that happens. So, it's a real shame. Another thing to bear in mind, I think, and is important to remember, is you're going to hear a lot from big content creators over the next few days. It's their livelihood. Like, they're going to be passionate about it. They're probably going to be upset. But that doesn't mean you have to have the same viewpoints as them. I don't think anyone should get angry. Please don't. And I'm very much adamant about this. Please don't harass members of Sports Interactive or Sega or content creators. We've been struggling a little bit the last few days on the FM show with a few individuals. So yeah, just people are entitled to their opinions. People are entitled to their views. Don't be something I'm not going to say. So I think I'm just it's disappointing, isn't it? Like, credit to them. I think that's a hard decision to make, isn't it? I wouldn't want to have been in the studio when that was announced, especially as I'd imagine some parts of the game were pretty much done. Imagine you're on a team where all your stuff's done, and then somewhere else something isn't working. You're on the team that's been doing research for this year's game, for example, and I have to imagine the data lock happened a while ago for all the research, and you everything you've done, all the attributes and everything for this year, it just goes in the bin, right? Because they never released that data. I mean, they can update it for next year. A lot of it's already collected, and they can adjust it. But everything's got to change. All the it'd be interesting to see what happens with all the licenses and things as well. I mean, maybe it gives them a bit more time to sort out those Italian licenses, AC Milan, Inter Milan. Do they stick the data into FM? Do they, and can they stick the data into FM24? That would be really interesting. Obviously, women's football couldn't go in, but could they put the Premier League in? Could they take advantage of their Premier League? And I guess this is an extra point. What is going to happen with those Premier League? I mean, what's going to happen with the current versions of the game, particularly the Game Pass, the PlayStation Plus, the Netflix, I hope there are not layoffs at the studio, because that's not good for anyone. It's not good for people working there, and it's not good for us as consumers, because it's going to, we're going to get a worse product in the end. I think everyone wants Football Manager to succeed in the end. I hope, some people maybe like to see the world burn, but the rest of us want the best game that we can get. A lot of us been patient, waiting through bad match engines, bad releases, small increments, upgrades. We've been waiting for a big update, and I'm hopeful that we at least get it in 2025, if it isn't Football Manager 2025, which it won't be now. Well, I guess that's it. Well, I'm off to get some sleep, I guess. Hope you guys waking up aren't too disappointed. Let me know what you think down below. Got a whole lot. I mean, actually, here's one more thing. I made a video a long time back about Unity and the challenge of Unity, so that could be an interesting thing to go watch. I'm going to chuck up a playlist. Like, here you go. If you want to check out some of the, follow this through the timeline over time. So a lot of people said, here's the thing. A lot of people are going to say, I told you so, back from when they knew in November. It's not a told you so, because if it was I told you so, they wouldn't have been testing in January. If it was I told you so, they would have done it in November, and they wouldn't have double dipped on the bad announcements. So yeah, anyone who's going I told you so back in November, I think, stay quiet, stay humble, and yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Go check out some of these vids. Catch you guys. Have a good, enjoy your weekend another way. Find something else that you enjoy, and engage with it if you can. Ciao, ciao.